Hey, thanks for tuning in today. I wanted to share something that people often talk about or complain about in meetings. It's very common. A lot of the clients I work with, all friends, like I've even come to say it a few times, like, oh gosh, a lot of these meetings are just a waste of time or there's no agenda. And I just wanted to double click on that point today. I think we all know how important it is to have an agenda, but there's times where, I've gone into meetings and maybe I haven't set one, or I've been a participant on a meeting. Maybe it's a one-to-one meeting and I don't actually know what we're talking about. So I think there's an opportunity from both sides, whether you are the person that's attending the event that hasn't called it, to ask for an agenda, or maybe just to share what your intention is before the session. But really, it's a reminder to anyone that's hosting a meeting to do this. And the reason I'm talking about this today is I've got a few meetings with some clients. I'm doing a listening tour, getting feedback on a project. And part of this is jumping on 25-minute calls with a variety of stakeholders. And so we've got these meetings this afternoon. And what I've done is send everyone a pre-agenda with some sample questions on what we're going to explore, explain how it's going to be run, explain the document that we're going to be looking at together. And this email really took me no time at all to draft and to send out. It took about 10 minutes, but it's something that is just critical because the reason why meetings tend to go over is because there is no direction. People really aren't sure why they've been included, what their role is, what the goal, like the overall objective of the session is. One of my favorite TED Talks, I've got actually, it's probably 5 or 10, maybe I should do a whole series about my favorite TED Talks, but this one is from David Grady and it's called How to Save the World, or at least Yourself, from Bad Meetings. It's really, really funny. And he talks about this syndrome that all of us have. It's called MAS. That's an acronym. It stands for Meeting Acceptance Syndrome. And how this typically operates is someone will send you a meeting request with no information, no detail on why you're invited. Maybe there's like a subject, and so you just click accept. And this is just it's prevalent in every organization I've worked with, I've even, worked for. People just send out these meeting requests without any context, and everyone just seems to accept it as the default. So what his premise is in the TED Talk is to question that. And you're not being too much of a rebel, you're not being that courageous, but all you have to do is, instead of clicking accept or decline, you click a button called tentative and you go back to the meeting host and just say, hey, look, I'd love to add value to your meeting. I'm really curious around what you're hoping to achieve from this meeting. That will help me understand my role and what I can contribute. And you can even ask, like, why was I invited to this meeting? Maybe in less disarming language. Sometimes why can be a bit strong, but I'm just curious what prompted you to invite me to this session, because I'd love to figure out how can I add value to your session as well. So it really is that simple. And I think it is important for the accountability to be on the host to, before they even send out a meeting request, to really think about, be very clear around who it is you're inviting, what's the goal of it, what you want to achieve as well. As I'm going through this process with this client, we were going to bring everyone together for a session, but then I realized, actually, let's do it in 2 stages. The first stage will be, yes, listening to or getting all the detail from people, extracting all the goodness from their minds individually. And then we're going to collate all that and then go back for a second round with the collective, and then just share, hey, here's what you said. We just want to make sure there's alignment on it. Let us know what we need to tweak. And this is going to be overall faster, even though I've got individual, like, short, sharp listening sessions. The fact that we've pre-baked a lot of the information, a lot of the content that we're reviewing. And my client, she's done a terrific job up front, just making that as good as possible. Now it's going into the round for feedback, and that's the objective. And that's why those specific questions I've sent out beforehand. So there's no surprises on the call. Some people need some more time to really reflect and think about what they're going to share. So that's what that email does. You might be doing this already, and well done to you. Continue doing it. That's how you change a work culture. If you're in an organization where people don't do it, don't take that on. You can change it yourself. This is like how you can influence from where you sit, wherever you are on the hierarchy, to create change, is to become that person that sends out meetings with agendas, with context, with what decisions you want to make as well. So that's it for today. I'll put a link to that TED video in the show notes for this one. Thanks for listening, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.